ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Why do you want to fight?
Because I can't sing or dance. Hey, yo. Don't fall! Don't fall!
The Rocky films have been with us for nearly 50 years, and you can really trace the history of American filmmaking through the franchise. The first Rocky was made on a $1 million budget, and it ended up grossing $225 million worldwide. It is the ultimate success story. When Sylvester Stallone wrote the screenplay for Rocky, he was working as an usher, making very little money. And the screenplay was found by two producers who offered him 6 figures for it. However, their stipulation was that they wanted a bigger actor, someone like Burt Reynolds. Stallone really stuck to his guns and refused to sell for that figure. He wanted to star in this film, and that is really pivotal to the success of the Rocky franchise. Everyone always talks about the fight scenes in Rocky, but my favorite scene from the first Rocky film is the skating rink scene. It's a scene that originally called for over 300 extras. There were supposed to be a lot of people on this rink, and they realized that they couldn't afford that. Only 1 extra actually showed up. So Stallone on set rewrote the scene to just have them be alone. It's such an intimate, kind-hearted, and very subtle sequence where you really see the chemistry build between these two characters that are gonna be with us for many, many years. Rocky was the #1 film at the box office in 1976, and it was nominated for 10 Academy Awards, winning 3. It won Best Picture that year, Best Editing, and Best Direction for John G. Avildsen's work.
Apollo Creed, and he looks a little more perfect this time than he did the last time.
Apollo, what'd you expect? I hope you wouldn't show.
3 years later, in 1979, when it came time to make the sequel to Rocky, Rocky II, Stallone really had to fight to be director. The studio was not confident in Stallone's directing abilities, and they were wrong. Stallone as a director on Rocky II is really remarkable. There's still that DIY kind of bare bones, grassroots style to Rocky II, but there's a lot more confidence in this film. In Rocky II, Stallone really sticks to the formula of what worked in the first film. But what he builds on is the relationships. We get more of Adrian, we get more of Mickey, we get more of Paulie, and most importantly, we get more of Apollo Creed, played by Carl Weathers. Apollo Creed in the first Rocky was more one-dimensional. In Rocky II, he's more fleshed out, kind of given more psychology, so that final fight in Rocky II is much more epic.
What's your prediction for the fight, then?
Prediction?
Yes, prediction.
Pain.
Not only do you have Hulk Hogan in Rocky III, but you have the villain Clubber Lang, played by Mr. T in his theatrical film debut. This is the film that gave us the iconic line, "I pity the fool." And Clubber Lang, played by Mr. T, is so fun to watch in Rocky III. Rocky III really predicts the success and the immense popularity of WWF. We're seeing this idea of the theatricality of wrestling meet the art of boxing, and it hugely influenced the Rocky franchise to come. One of the most important characters in Rocky III is that of Apollo Creed. Here in Rocky III, we see him take on the Mickey role, and it's really important to building the relationship between Rocky and his former opponent, Apollo. They transition from opponents to colleagues and become instrumental to really each other's success. Carl Weathers is a wonderful actor, and we really see this in Rocky III.
It's unbelievable, the condition of both men, but the Russian champion.
I must break you.
There are some films from the 1980s that you can look at and say, well, that's what a 1980s film is, and I think Rocky IV is that. The first 2 Rockies, much is made of Rocky being illiterate. By the 4th film, he is an entrepreneur, he is a businessman, and he is very good at branding. The villain in Rocky IV is Ivan Drago, played by Dolph Lundgren. Lundgren was a Fulbright scholar and had an engineering degree, and only utters 9 lines of dialogue in this film, and yet all of them are so iconic. Rocky IV has more montages than any of the prior Rocky films. There's actually 29 minutes of just montage in Rocky IV. It's really fun. It really is the iconic 80s montage film, and it's truly a wonderful sports film. Rocky as a character, as a movie franchise, has been with us for nearly 50 years. It is beloved, and for me, it's one of my favorite franchises of all time. I'm very happy that it's still with us today in the 21st century, and new filmmakers are coming to the Rocky character and the characters we love, like Apollo Creed, and giving them new life. Rocky is the ultimate underdog story, not just as a character, but as a director. Stallone fought so hard for these films and really had to constantly prove himself, and he did so every single time.
I just want to say one thing to my wife who's home. Yo, Adrian, I did it!